just talking in chat earlier. The chat we have me, Zach, and Eric. Max is just losing everything. My girl was checking for some Cartoon Network stuff, all gone.
Gone.
I'm just like, what are we doing?
Let's talk about what we're doing because AEW is going to HBO Max. I broke this down today. These are screenshots on the left and the right of what the prices are per month as of today. So I broke these down, Knock, and we're going to talk about what do you think is the better deal. AEW with their pay-per-views on HBO Max or WWE with their content on ESPN. So yes, I did add what it would be for me here in LA to get Netflix and NXT and SmackDown into the package as well. So overall, what do you think is the better deal?
I don't currently pay for HBO Max. That's kind of under the family plan here, so I don't know the price. The bare price is here on there. The price of HBO Max right now.
HBO Max right now basically at $9.99 a month or $99 a year.
Okay. I will just start by saying this. I have the Disney Plus trio with Disney, Hulu, and ESPN. ESPN Plus is trash. You can't watch stuff on there. You have to pay for it, and then you have to pay for UFC events or other events you want to watch. It's so bad. Just looking at it, it looks like the WWE on ESPN is actually a better price point. I'll admit that. My thing with this, because I've purchased the last 2 or 3 AEW pay-per-views on Amazon Prime, and I'm still able to go back and watch them. So
not for long, because that was released this week too. Everything you have on there can be taken off anytime you want. You don't own shit on Amazon Prime now.
Okay.
And they have a lawsuit that is I forgot what it was. Something that legitimately lets them take that away from you.
I think I've seen that as well. So my question here is, when you purchase because we haven't purchased anything, we've been watching WWE pay-per-views on Peacock. When you purchase on ESPN, is it going to be like, okay, you watch it live and then you get to watch the replay the day after and that's it? Or you get to just continue watching? And then same thing for AEW, because how on Prime now, I could watch All In today if I wanted to, and then I could watch next week if I wanted to. So that's my only ad. I just want to know if anyone in the chat might know that. Price point, WWE right now looks better. But I'm just rocking with AEW right now, man. I think you might have said in the chat, Zach, that did alarm me a bit, or I don't know if I've seen it somewhere. It was mentioned that if HBO really, or Warner Brothers really believed in AEW, they would have just increased their money and had this be free on their channel on HBO, as opposed to having a charge, and just gave AEW more money to circumvent that. But with the ratings and everything going right now, W trying to take them out, this is tough, man. This is really tough.
So my thing is, anything is worth whatever you are willing to pay for it, right? Yep. These dollar amounts technically don't mean anything. If I want a burger, I'm going to go lay down some money for a burger. The end. Someone might say that's too much for a burger. I don't give a damn. I want a burger. With that being said, if I'm just looking at what I'm getting for each package, the AEW HBO Max one, it just irks me because it came out after everyone online had an issue, myself included, with the ESPN deal. $30 a month with ESPN for these pay-per-views. So we've been getting Peacock-wise for free. HBO then ups the cost for a streaming service that has been losing content and giving their content out to people like Netflix. You talk about Cartoon Network. We have A24 that was exclusive to HBO, which their movies are now going to Netflix whenever HBO wants to get them over there. These things are happening over there. HBO Max is one of my least favorite streamers recently, unless they have new movies coming out. You got Final Destination Bloodlines or something else that was out. Superman's going to be coming out in about 3 or 4 weeks on HBO Max. That's cool. But their library keeps shrinking. The things that they're getting now are director's cuts of movies that they currently have or own. The thing with the ESPN bundle is for $30 a month, if I do this, I'm also getting Hulu and Disney Plus for a year. If I do this as well, you're adding those libraries and those live TVs as well. That deal is very enticing. And again, it's whatever you want to pay for it. But that's what I'm saying now. The AEW one just kind of pissed me off because the WWE one, with all the backlash, Tony listened to a woman's theme song get played on Dynamite, get backlash on Twitter, and changed it the same night. That's how much he listens to Twitter. didn't change his deal, and it must be because of HBO Max. Maybe doesn't want to like pay for something. I don't know what it is, but that's why this deal I thought was a terrible deal. It is a step in the right directions because technically the price is cheaper, but yeah, that's my 2 cents on there.
I definitely see that. There was outrage WWE. The prices in AEW came out like a week later. I don't know what that conversation with TK would be like. Hey, we go back to HBO and be like, yeah, we got to lower these prices. I don't know where he's at in the pecking order or what type of pull he has over there, but that is interesting. What was the other point I wanted to make? That was the other point I wanted to make. The thing with ESPN, they already have an established pipeline, established like network for streaming live stuff. This HBO stuff is going to be brand new for pay-per-views.
Yes.
So I've seen AEW pay-per-views on Bleacher Report was complete trash. It's been better on Prime, but I did have some issues in the last pay-per-view I watched where it glitched out. I know the Ring of Honor had some issues as well, so it was free. So my only thing is when I pay this price, I need it to be crystal clear. I need it to be smooth. I need that everything to be on point. So
right.
That's my only thing with this being a brand new thing for HBO.
Mr. Porter says ESPN is cheaper, but I'd rather buy AEW pay-per-view. That's just me. That's another point too. Everything is worth what you are willing to pay for. Some of these WWE PLEs are fun watches. Clash was a fun watch. I love the AJ stuff. I love the energy of the crowd. Technically, those matches were like, some of them seemed like SmackDown matches minus the Rusev Sheamus thing. That was that was a pay-per-view match. So some of these don't feel like I should be paying for them anyways.
Yeah, I think Nikki on the podcast just said the Nikki Becky one was supposed to be on Raw, but since Naomi and Stephanie got pulled, they had pulled them on Clash of Paris.
You should probably complain about that too. Let me just break this down just before we move on here because the women's match. This is what it would cost if you get the ad-free versions of everything, because I don't think too many of us really care about paying extra for the 4K or the ads or anything like that. So this is the ad-free version of everything. And then on the right side there, that's what I'd pay here in LA if I got Netflix for $7.99 a month, which is going up too. And then for cable here, the one carriage deal offers $30 a month that shows NXT and SmackDown. But again, it doesn't really offer shit otherwise for channels. And then you probably, to get those channels, have to pay for internet. So then that ups up to $60 to $90 to $150. So if I went bare bones for everything to watch all WWE content here in Los Angeles, it's $815.76. Or if I just wanted to watch AEW content, which you can watch live, Collision and Dynamite, with the 9 pay-per-views, so if you add some, give or take, $449.90 a year. So there's the difference for you.
That's another thing to look at in totality. I think that definitely comes into play as well. WWE spread out so far. I know those rumors the internet keep saying they're trying to do that to weaken where AEW can go if they wanted to renew their stuff or have options for TV deals. I don't know. I think some of that could be true. But I also look at where WWE is headed and what they're trying to be. And it feels like they're trying to be more like NBA, the NFL, where they're spread out as well. NBA and NFL games are on a bunch of different channels.
Yeah.
And I think what we're going to get soon is like what they're aiming for. It looks like they're aiming for. We're going to get like WrestleMania be like on free TV with a bunch of ads. You have like that, like the Super Bowl. Super Bowl's on TV, and it's all about that. So I think that's where we're going for WWE. So I don't think it's necessarily attacking AEW in that regard. I think they're just trying to do like NFL, NBA. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Any other thoughts on this? I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And again, I stick to my guns on it. If you think it's worth paying for it, then it's 100% worth paying for it.
Yeah, I think so too. Again, as long as the service works for HBO, I'm cool paying the price. This also reminds me of a tier list me and the boys did ranking the streaming services. So check them out if you haven't seen it already. But yeah. ESPN has to fix some things for I know they're taking away ESPN Plus and going a different route, their whole streaming thing. So whatever they're doing, that needs to work properly.
Okay. Yeah. As long as it works properly. Look, the point is we're getting good wrestling on streaming. So that's a good thing. It's just costing us a lot of money and we're not used to it. So that's kind of the kicker.
If I was AEW too, on a side note, because I know that a lot of the big conversations about like their max ratings, how many people are actually watching on max. I'm one of the people that watches on max. I actually, that's all I do. When I watch Collision Dynamite, I watch on max and watch the replay because I don't have time. I'm usually driving home around the time it starts. So I think they should try to find those numbers. Like TK said recently, he has no idea what the numbers are. I think that,
but yet he reported on them.
I just think at some point some clarity could help. If they wanted to go that route, they don't have to. They're not obligated to. But I think some clarity on the numbers would help some public perception.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Don't report on numbers that you know are false. So then when this happens and you do charge people $39.99, just say, hey, look, it's a step forward in the right direction. We're making the partnership with Max grow stronger, which they are. And I think that's my big thing. I'm not going to pay $40 for pay-per-view. I'm kind of done paying for pay-per-views. I get all my streamers for free, so I'm just kind of like, I have nothing to really complain about right now. But I'm just saying, I know a lot of people who their kids watch wrestling, period. Doesn't matter. They're not tribalists at all. They just watch wrestling online, and this means nothing to them either. So this is an adult problem, I guess.
Yeah, adult problem. On the internet to rage about.
Yeah. All right, let us know what you're going to pay for, what you don't want to pay for, what you will not pay for. And any other thoughts on this, too, because this is the streamers are still figuring stuff out. Channing Tatum had a quote in Variety when they talked to him this week about how the streamers came in the last few years, messed things up. Everyone's trying to figure things out because of the streaming services, and wrestling's still trying to figure it out, too.
At some point, I know it's been a topic of conversation for a while, even beyond the wrestling bubble. All this streaming and the price is going up and up and up. At some point, it's going to tip over. I think we'll get cable back, or we get some type of bundles and putting it all together. It can't just stand alone like this for long. I think at some point, it's going to reach some medium where something has to change.
I think so. Especially with carriage deals always being. Fox just had one with YouTube TV. There's always stuff going on with Charter and Spectrum. So I think these streamers like ESPN, Hulu, and Disney do something, because right now you can also get HBO Max with your Disney Plus and Hulu too, and you can mix and match. I think these streamers are starting to figure out that's the only way to go.
Yeah. Aside, before we get back to wrestling, I think I'm going to miss that golden period when Netflix got hot. It was still cheap. You can still share your passwords. And like it would just go through a whole bunch of Netflix binging stuff. And now that it's everywhere, it just commercialized. It's way too much. There was no ads. Netflix, like what, 2012 to what, 2017, 2018? Incredible. Groundbreaking stuff.
It's like going to your public library and bringing your friends.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Look, again, leave comments. The biggest takeaway is Peacock, you are absolutely insane for raising your prices. What you lose WWE, who is a huge percentage of people who subscribe. I think the paper is going to do all right, but it's not worth like a 15% hike up.
Are you going to check it out? I wasn't too big on Office. I just never watched too many episodes, but
yeah.
About that,
I watched the first episode. I'll watch the next two, and we'll see.
Oh, it's a weekly thing?
They're all out. They're all out right now. I just dumped them.
Okay.
But it's up for a second season. So, all right, that's it. That's our talk on that. Again, leave comments and let us know what you are going to subscribe to.
Great conversation.
Always good talking to you, Knock, about this stuff. This is like when Knock and I work together, and Eric, this is the kind of stuff that we would talk and we'd shoot the shit about, and good stuff, man.